All right, welcome back. I have my hair as usual. I have some pretty great science products for you today and some other products to show you. So let's get to it. So this is a book I created. You can't get the book anymore off Amazon, but you can get the PDFs in my store. The reason I like it is because it's Get Ready for Kindergarten Preschool Math, but it's for kids who need to do preschool skills but don't want a baby book. So when you take a look, you're going to do, like, each number, it's done numerically. You're going to do 3, write the word, trace the number, fill in 3 squares, color 3 blocks, and draw a circle around the number 3. And then over here, it's like, find the number 3 and trace it. Okay, so it goes through all of that. It's got a bunch of mazes in it. And then it's got some simple addition in it. So it's $5 on my Etsy store, and I think it's like 70 pages. Yeah, basically, so if anyone needs it and wants it, there you go. And so it does simple mathematics, but again, it's for kids who sometimes need to practice the skills but don't want a baby book. You don't want a preschool book sometimes when you're older and you're trying to figure out some stuff and learn. So this is count and write the number in the box and then add 2. Has some simple basic skills here. It's got greater than, less than, and in the end, it's got a little bit of subtraction there. So that's, I think it's kind of cool. And it's $5 in the Etsy store if you want it. Go ahead, go grab it. So next we have these I got off Teachers Pay Teachers. And I have a child who's gifted in numbers. And so this is one of the activities we did, is these were supposed to be full pages because they're for classrooms. It's just basic number sense and number vocabulary and using numbers in a lot of different ways. But I printed them to have like 6 per page, and then I just had a whole stack of them. And then it's like, it just uses like which one doesn't belong, right? Which one doesn't belong? True or false? That equals 22. Another, which one doesn't belong? So how many do you see? How many do you see? So it just uses a lot of different skills. Let's compare which one's more, which one's less. Partition the shapes into halves. So I'll see if I can find it and put it down in the comments. I'm sure I can find it and I'll put it down in the comments for you if that's something you're interested in. Because for like $12 or something, maybe not even, you get like 100 of them. And then it's just something that we can do at the table. Like, let's compare, da-da-da. And sometimes what I do is, so I'll have a list of like maybe 5 things we have to do that day. And you can choose one of them not to do, and in exchange, do something like this. This is the High IQ Kids Mini Luke. Now, this one was, I think, $149, but they have mini versions of this, which is the same. It just only has a couple books for $47 on Amazon. So take a look at it. Let me show you what it is. So you get all these books, visual perception, then it's got skill level, okay? Because there are various skill levels. They are not in order. They got theme-based learning, math, concentration. The reason concentration is important, which I'm going to show you a concentration one, is just because of all the iPad stuff. I need them to be able to slow down, and yeah, it sucks to have to be able to sit there and do it, but it's one of the things you have to do during the day and then they can pick a puzzle or I can pick a puzzle. It just depends on my mood and on their mood. So this is one of the easy concentration ones, okay? So you set it up like this, all the numbers down here, this blank board up here, and then you're gonna match like 2 and take a look at it. Maybe 2 is, we'll say that one. All right. So then when you get it right at the end, you're gonna flip it over and it will match this pattern on this when you flip it over after you've done the whole thing. And that's how you know you've gotten it right. And again, there's a bunch of different books for a bunch of different levels. It's ages 5, 6, and 7. They got math in there, like 4 plus 1. What answer is it? So all different levels. That's the skill level of number 2. And a ton of different puzzles in there. So that's something that they can do and you might want to consider. It's kind of cool, kind of neat for sure. Some kids really love it. And I know one mom said that she starts her homeschool every day by pulling out the mini Lukes. So let me show you in some science stuff. These are what we read the other day, and I wanted to show it to you. So this is photosynthesis. So this line of books is the Real Science Readers. Okay, it's from Gravitas Publications, Real Science for Kids, the number 4. And what it does is written by a PhD homeschool mom who wanted to teach college-age concepts to her little kids. So photo means light, synthesis means to make. So photosynthesis means to make with light. Plants use photosynthesis to make their own food with sunlight. I am making dinner. Oh, sorry. I do voices for like everything. Chlorophyll. So it's got So anyway, it's got, oops, that's not what that is. That's photosynthesis. So it just, yeah, I mean, so no matter what science program you use, if you want to use those, go ahead, right? Like, it's pretty interesting to the kids, depending on your child. What foods do you like best? Foods that are sweet, foods that are sour, foods that are salty, that are bitter. Why do foods taste so different? And then it says, because they have different types of molecules, which brings me to this book here, which is the atoms. And then there's a molecule book. Atoms make up everything, and molecules are what happen when atoms link together. So it's going to show you in every book it has, like if you miss this concept or you don't have this book, it's going to show you, it's going to say review, and it's going to say molecules are made when atoms link together. And atoms are tiny building blocks that can link together. Atoms make up everything we touch, taste, smell, and see. So you get it, and then it's like some tasty molecules. We are a sour molecule found in vinegar. We are a salty molecule found in French fries. So you get it? So again, I think they're pretty cool. So we read quite a few of these. These are the atoms one. An atom doesn't really have arms and hands, but drawing arms and hands help us understand how atoms work. Okay, so it's kind of cool. And then we did Earth's layer. This is from the geology. We did Earth's layers, and how do they know what's in the core? It says in this book is that they study what comes out of a volcano, and it helps us it helps us learn what is in the center of the Earth. This is viruses. So it's got the Ebola virus looks like that. The coronavirus looks like this. The common cold virus looks like that. So kind of interesting. So that's what we read. Now I want to show you in this book of science book. This is very cool. You know, I have a lot of cool science curriculums that I use. This is the one that I'm starting to go through. So I was just going through today to page off which pages I'm doing and which I'm not doing. So I'm going to do like what's it made of, science liquid gas. You can cut those out and put those in. And just a heads up that this balloon is helium, so that's gas, and the bubbles are actually gas in a solid. Both of them are gases in a solid. So in this book that I'm using, that's what they want it to be considered as. Okay, so, but it does bring up lots of discussion too when you're doing it. So here you can draw and label some examples. And then this is another one. This is interesting. So matter patterns. So we're doing solid gas, liquid, right? Solid gas, liquid. Is this an AABB, an ABC, or an ABAB pattern? So this would be an ABC pattern. So very simple. I like simple things that even I can explain without reading a lot. I'm doing this so far without even glancing at the teacher's manual that I have. So weight of solids. So we might just do this. It's like, okay, well, what weighs the most? So we'll probably won't cut them out, but we'll label just with the pencil, like, you know, heaviest to lightest and stuff like that. Dividing solids. Yesterday, for my 6-year-old, I put on, was it yesterday or the day before, I put on a homeschool pop video of fractions, just to check out some fractions, since again, he is pretty good at math. And so this is, okay, how many pieces, and then take one and do 1/4, and then 1/3, and 1/4. And down here, it's like split this in half. Split this in half, and split this in 1/3. So if we look up here, 1/3, that means split that in 3s. Okay, I'm going to skip that because that, I don't know, it's like choose 3 solids, list them on the sheet, and write a word or two that describes using your sentence. Now let me explain to you about this book for a minute. This is Concept 2, Matter and Movement. You don't have to get all the concepts. This is moving beyond the page. This is age 6 to 8. They do age 5 to 7, age 7 to 9, age 6 to 8. So this is the middle one, age 6 to 8. And I mean, I think it's great. My kid who has ADHD, like he actually really likes this curriculum. But we don't do it. We don't sit down. We're not like, let's do every activity. It's got to be done. No, we do, which is kind of interesting. So measuring solids. So we're going to measure length and width, which I guess length and width. I want to be like it's height, but you know, I guess it's a book. So perhaps I'm wrong. That could be it too. And this is measuring solids, but this is more complex. Sometimes they have option 1, option 2. This is option 2. This is option 1, just measuring it. So they're going to make sure that it winds up on an even number. And this one here is measured to the nearest 1/2 inch. Okay, so this is another one, investing it. So tasting different and smelling different liquids, but do not taste any liquids that might be dangerous. Again, I'm going to skip that one. Anything that looks like requires too much activity, like I have to move to do it, I'm probably not going to do it. So I'm not going to do measuring liquids. That also seems kind of dull. I just don't think any of my kids would be like, yes, let's sit down and I mean, maybe they would and estimate how many tablespoons go into a cup, and then measured how many tablespoons and estimated teaspoons, and like for 1 cup, goodness. that would go on for quite a bit. Okay, so next we have Weigh It. Now, we used to have a scale, but I thought I could go to the grocery store and we could pick out a couple fruits and weigh them on the scale there and either buy them or not, depending on everyone's opinion. But anyway, liquids everywhere. So in each box, draw a picture of a liquid you use. So basically you need 3 liquids you use every day and what you use them for and describe them, because this also has in here, there's also language arts. So there's language arts, sociology, science, like everything's mixed into these books. There's 4 for the year, 4 student books for the year and 4 teacher books for the year. Till you get up to 7 and 9, and then I have it, it's a whole bunch of books. It's not just 4 anymore. So this is reading a recipe, okay? And then look at this. So this is creating a story quilt. This is on Bartholomew and the Oblak, which I think you should have no problem getting at the library. It's an interesting book if you haven't read it. It's interesting. And then, so your favorite part of the story, the characters, the settings, the 3 important events, the problems, and the solution. Because this also has, and then it's got true or false about the story. Because this also does the language arts. It doesn't do a lot of grammar because it believes that grammar is learned through reading, which is how I learned grammar. But at the same time, because I learned grammar that way, even though I did go to a regular school, I don't remember learning it in school. I remember just learning it from reading. And the reason now, though, I can't tell you, like I have, when we study nouns and we study all that stuff, I have to look up what they are. So a new ending, this is interesting. Write a new ending for that story. So that is interesting. Now look at this. So this has got another molecules thing, because that's the main concept of this book is matter and movement. So any language arts, any history will be regarding this. It'll have to do with that theme. So adjectives, describe it. So see, find 2 words from the objective list that could be used to describe each noun. So again, I don't know what a noun is, but hopefully in the teacher's manual they would tell me, or I can Google it, or I just know, hey, things are nouns, it would look like. But again, it's just not my strength, right? But I'm learning along with my kids. So that's why if there is a subject that you are not good at, do not feel intimidated and do not worry, because you are literally learning along with your kid. You're learning along with them, especially at this age. And when they get older, they'll be, as long as they've learned to read, as long as they can read and write or type or orally dictate, they should be able to do it on their own. So you don't have to worry that, oh my gosh, I'm not an expert in this. Yeah, you're not supposed to be. You are a facilitator of learning. You are not an expert. You are not a professional teacher. You do not have to be. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. I feel very strongly about that. And I hope that it helps you relax a little bit and maybe understand, maybe, I don't know. And if not, just ignore me. Okay, so it's got, these are adjectives, which I assume are descriptive words. So that's about as far as I got through the book. And then counting molecules, I'm going to skip this just because we do math, but air in an empty jar. So you're going to write the number. No, you're going to write the number, and then you're going to write the number word. So it has just a lot of interesting ways to do that. This is a melting rates graph. If this isn't cool, chocolate, butter, wax, and ice. So get some of these. Let's see which one took the longest time to melt, which one took the shortest amount of time. One of the things I love about this book, this curriculum, is they have really cool graphing things. Like even when they are in kindergarten, the 5 to 7 one, they have one about picking up a bunch of leaves from fall and doing a graph based on the colors of the leaves. Leaves. Anyway, so very cool, I think. Measuring ice and water. All right, so I haven't read past this. It's got, each book has over 100 pages in it. And like I said, 4 come for the year. I'm not saying it's not a cheap curriculum. And you most certainly do not need it. Any other curriculum you have has all this stuff, a lot of it. But I like it because, like I showed you in the last video, teaching about rules and laws and the difference between some things I don't think about to teach. It just doesn't occur to me to like mention unless I see it in a curriculum. So that's what I like. Anyway, I thought you'd find it interesting, and I hope you did. And I will see you tomorrow, you facilitator, you. Bye-bye. Okay, so what are we doing? Uh-huh. Huh. That's how you do it. I did not know. You came up with that yourself?
Yeah.
Looks like a very efficient way to get food in your mouth.